that apparently there was some kind of domestic situation, and yeah, definitely not good for him. Now, here's the conundrum. Michigan's easily a top 10 coaching job, so they can kind of pretty much go get who they want. Okay,
Except DeBoer.
yeah, except DeBoer. Let's hope that there's a lot of people coming out about DeBoer to Michigan.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that is. I mean, in this day and age, after the whole Lane Kiffin thing, I will never say, "Oh, that's not going to happen," because you just never know. I mean, all the tampering that goes on now. You know, I was listening to Colin Cowherd today. I was listening to one of his segments, and he was talking about how, yeah, well, the SEC, they always just paid players in the back, behind the back door. Now everybody just does it in the front door. Well, the last time I checked, no team in the SEC had ever received the death penalty. SMU did. So let's be careful about that with all the sanctions that have been passed out to Big Ten champions and others. So I just look at this situation, and I look at Michigan as 100% a top 10 job. And I actually think this is kind of good for Michigan's football program. Now they can just get rid of the whole Jim Harbaugh stuff and flush it out and start over. And that's, if I were the athletic director and I were making hire, that's what I would look to do. I would just clean house. I would just have everybody go and start over. Go get you a good reputable name, and start over. The problem is the conundrum is that, Michigan can go have a pick of who they want, but I don't know that anybody's going to pick Sharon Moore after this. I mean, even if he just got fired they just say, hey, we want to go in another direction, I don't know how many opportunities he would even have as a position coach to go somewhere.
This seems like a guy who's going to have to sit out for a couple of years, and then maybe go like D2 for a while, something kind of under the radar.
He's going to have to go and get out of the spotlight for a while for sure.
He's probably 8 to 10 years out from coming back from, and that's saying if nothing happens with what's happening now.
Yeah, well, he was part of a national championship team. He was the offensive coordinator of a national championship team. One thing we've learned and we know is true about the coaching profession, you can get fired for anything and get a job pretty quick as long as it's not for losing. You could do all kinds of crazy stuff. But if you get fired for losing, you can forget about it. If you get fired for other stuff, but you've won, somebody's going to hire you somewhere. So I think it'll probably be one of those deals. He'll probably sit out for a year or two. Maybe he'll go to a lower level school, and then watch in about 4 or 5 years he'll resurface.
Yeah, I just want to promise. Yeah, I just want to wait for all this arrest stuff to cool down, and then because you don't know how long that's going to take, depending on what happened.
Right now he's toxic.
Yeah,
I don't know how anybody could hire him for anything, given the fact that you don't know what's coming down the road.
Correct. Which kind of brings me into the second. Actually, we can go 2 different ways with this. We can go with coaching. Who do you think is on their short list? Let's go with that first, and then I want to get into some of the players they have. There's a particular player on there that I think Alabama could probably get. Coaching-wise, who do you think's on their short list?
Well, again, kind of whoever they want. I mean, Michigan's one of those blue blood programs that they're going to want to find a Michigan man. I get it. Totally get it. I'm not saying that in a bad way, Michigan. I know we take shots at each other and we poke at each other, but it's all in good fun, okay? We, in the SEC, understand Michigan is a marquee job. They can make about 4 phone calls, and one of those 4 is going to get the job. One of the 4 is going to take the job, and it's going to be somebody you know. I'm not exactly sure. But I promise you they will have some kind of a tie to Michigan in some – well,